Harvard's wealth is largely tied up in its endowment, which is worth more than $53 billion. No other school in the United States comes close to that. But now you've got billions of dollars on the line as the federal government and Harvard face off over a whole host of issues. The idea that Harvard can just take $53 billion and have a war chest at the ready? Not true. They rely on the federal government, like other universities do, to help fund their research. When the federal government first said it was examining Harvard, it talked about how the university got $9 billion in federal funding. That's not a one-year sum of money, that's over multiple years. And now that Harvard is pushing back, the government has put the brakes on so far $2.2 billion and counting. So the vast majority of federal research funding at Harvard goes toward the biomedical sciences. Within the first few hours of the federal government deciding it was going to freeze funding to Harvard, it started telling these researchers to literally stop what they are doing. That's affecting projects on everything from tuberculosis to Lou Gehrig's disease to plenty of projects that we aren't even hearing about. A lot of people are wondering why Harvard isn't tapping into that $53 billion. But it's not that simple. The Harvard Endowment is made up of more than 14,000 different funds, and a lot of those funds come from individuals. They come from family foundations. They might come from corporations. Some of those big contributions, the ones that have a name attached to them specifically, there are often a lot of rules saying that money can only be used for a certain project or a certain discipline. You sometimes see people's names show up on schools, buildings, that kind of thing. Roughly 80% of Harvard's endowment is tied up in restricted funds. That leaves the other 20% as unrestricted funds. Harvard's endowment is set up a lot more like a retirement account instead of a checking account. It's an emergency fund in the highest order. Harvard has been making a lot of contingency plans because it doesn't want to tap its endowment, obviously. And on Monday evening, the university sued the federal government to try to get federal funding restored. Harvard is arguing that if the research is stopped short, society will be paying for it for a long time to come.